Greetings, greetings, World Jam Global Day with you, things and times. Yes, Mr. Best, we're on the other end, so we are going through. Yes, man.
Things and times so hard, no peace, no day, yeah. The vengeance of the Lord must be nearer than, it must be nearer than. How we are gonna do? Money can't help you. Rich man, I feel it too. God is nearer than, he must be nearer than altogether. It is of the strongest of the strong shall survive. A weaker shall take a survive. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. Things and times so rough, don't it get so tough? We never get enough. The Lord is nearer than, the Lord is nearer than. Yes, he must be nearer than. Things and times so rough, don't it get so tough? We never get enough. The Lord is nearer than, he must be nearer than. How we are gonna do? Money can't help you. Rich man, I feel it too. The
One,
Lord
two,
is nearer than, he must be nearer than. Oh yeah, this is the strongest of the strong shall survive. A weaker shall take a survive. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. If you have strong faith, you must stay alive. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, all right now. Oh, yeah. The world is troubled and living ain't easy. The world is troubled. You got to believe it. The world is troubled and living ain't easy. I said the world is troubled. You got to believe it. Cast away all evil spell. Don't play a hero, you'll end down in hell. You've got your troubles and I've got mine. Let's work together to make things fine. Got to be sure of all things we do. Preserve our lives, be pure and true. The things we see and feel were meant to be. It's the fulfillment of prophecy. I said the world needs trouble and living ain't easy. I said the world is trouble. You got to believe it. The world is trouble and living shall not be nailed. And after all these things shall come to pass, the end shall not be near. There shall be hijacking, kidnapping all over the earth. Ooh yeah. There shall be hijacking, kidnapping all over the earth. Oh yeah. A bombing and wars all over the earth. Ooh yeah. Got to get together. Yeah. Oh yeah. So the world is troubled, and living ain't easy. Except the world is troubled. You got to believe it. A time of sorrow, yeah. A time of judgment, yeah. Time of sorrow. Got the time to beg, steal, not borrow. Oh no. I said, the world is troubled. The world is troubled. The whole wide world. I said the whole wide world.
Yes, greetings. Greetings to management team, technicians, and fellow World Jam Global presenters. Things and Times, we're there with you. We play that tune there because it seems that no matter what, badness, some sad events happen in the earth. And then you have Easter, Good Friday, Easter Sunday, and all these things. And now we hear say that Sri Lanka, some devastating thing, and you have Notre Dame. When you put all these things together, boy, them people have with mysteries, them seem to be working. But them not take long for say Muslim or Islamic something. Where I get the beating all the time, I say we because I'm a Muslim. Feasibility, you understand? But only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. right? 1 minute them say them get rid of the ISIS out of Syria. Now them say them gone somewhere else. And the Americans, them must say, and some British newscasters, them draw a conclusion and say this might be retaliation for New Zealand. Let me tell you for myself, you know, and nothing goes so. You understand? Are you bad people? Or create your own skirmish? Yeah, you Tamil Tigers and all these different people. Why you not look upon them? Why you not call them name? Anyway, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. You understand? We watch that space, listen to that space and see how it turn out. But for all those people, yes, man, you lose your life and it's saddened. You know, that man kind of men are kind of humans resort to such. But when it's operated by the higher forces, we expect the lower people them for do. They must follow you. You understand? They must follow you. You go on world police, world everything. You dictate. You understand? You change whatever you want to change when you want to change it. And it's not for your sovereignty. So you put people in a real peculiar situation or position. And then these are the type of nonsense that happens. Not to them. What is that? Look how quick you can find so much money. It's remarkable, isn't it? And your citizens are asking for certain kind of legislation and rights and privileges. And you go on tough against your own citizens. And then some bricks and mortar for 800 and something years. Not that it don't have no history, but is it life? You take the building more important than the value of the human beings, which you are one of them. And you find money, quick, sharp, and your green jackets or yellow jackets, you know, deal with them. You understand? And this is democracy, Africans. And now you have Brexit with the same thing. The people that have vote, the vote was heard, and the execution of that needed to be upheld. But the power of B said, no, we're not deal with that. So you have all these type of issues. You understand? So you must watch the space. Now, third of all, I obviously on this platform, I have glass house, so I don't throw a stone. But I can talk about things that I can defend and represent. But I don't like them people there who have glass house, always throwing stones, and then at the same time, they not remember the children of the slaves in the diaspora. And them good quick to talk all kind of thing like they want to come join we for some reason. You understand? And them not do nothing particularly effectively for us as a people. Neither lend themselves to teach us anything. So them ones there who run about themselves and always seem to understand something that going on in Libya. When you know so that Libya get overthrown by the European powers along with the Yankee. You know that. And you know so that these people that is running about and doing all kind of thing, they're ill-treating the African, the black African. We know that. But you run up your mouth and talk, say that the people them is enslaving people. When in your country, Ghana, and the Volta, Lake Volta, you have all kind of problem. And the Europeans and the United Nations human rights officers, them call it slavery. Me not see it as slavery. Me not see it as a badness among yourselves. The mothers of boys renting their boys off to sea merchants or lake merchants for catch fish. Where the people them that are them rent the children to, their children go to school. And these children is on the lake with these men catching fish and slinging nets. You understand? And the people them call it slavery. And this is today, not yesteryear, man. This is today. And this is children from the age of 5. Children. And then you have a man like me, and even yourself, you know who me I chat about, huh? That set up a little place, a holding center for these children that they go and reclaim. These people don't even know where the children them come from. Them come from Ghana, but who are their parents? Who are their parents? I know this man that are doing a good job. He might do him job with some Europeans. So it make we look like savages still. Nobody not do the same thing in Congo. Congo have children. Dig mines. South Africa too. Zaire too. Angola too. What the backside? And when I go on with a thing, listen here, man. Don't bother with this nonsense. What is happening is that the people them want to move the goalposts from slavery and want to trickle it down and then turn around and tell us that we were doing this thing to ourselves. When we are talking about the dramatic, inhumane cattle slavery that took place to my grandmother and grandfathers. You understand me? When I talk about something where people have them little fighting and them captures some of them man them that they was beating up, they didn't even bother kill them, and they met them servants. This is something that been happening for what? And it happened with all people, including us, and that's where it come from. But the other thing that happened, that barbaric thing, that slavery, you understand? And we never use the term, or them use the term, right? And it's cattle slavery, shackling and chains and building the nation them call Europe, and reestablishing it also with my parents and other people out there parents. So watch how you're talking and watch how you try study, because if you dare not in them in your study, you better go to university and read proper. You understand? And don't get hyped because you don't take Caribbean people and hype them up, make them believe so that you're there with we. You're not. You're just trying to catch a lift. We don't need them type of lift. Tell people the story of Nkrumah before him get married. And then tell the people them the story of the students who seduced him to overthrow the government and to rip down everything that the government did establish for Ghana. Taught them. Me learned that here. Me never learned that in your country. That's where you come from. It's only the other day you call your name. You take a British name to stay on here and to integrate yourself. Who's ashamed of what? After we can say we don't have the name, you know. The names that we have, enough for we name, is handed down by whom? The name I have, the names I have, I chose. You understand? I chose. And I'm the Abd again of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. I'm very, 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 very extremely proud of that because I am free in my soul. You understand me? Check the lyrics in her. I am free within my soul. You might be free in your conscience. I don't know. But me, I am free within my soul. You understand? And that's very free. Now, in terms of the mental infiltration of what is psychological effects, yeah, man, that scar still there. That's why I go on the way I go on. You understand? But me no want to go Africa and have dance. Me want to go Africa and make love. You understand? Me want to go Africa and see and feel and smell and, yeah, and the great aroma and admire all the beautiful sceneries and smell the air and drink the water where there's good water. Yeah, look at that. You have water in abundance, but yet still it's not clean. How comes? You spend your time watching other people, man. You understand? And God willing, me I go support my daughter and water purification on the continent. That is being sorted. All know. You understand? Right? With the technology coming from Europe, God, can you imagine? But she has scientific knowledge. Yeah, man. Chemistry and everything. You understand? But we buy the equipment here in Europe. Could you imagine that? Yeah. Not through dance, not through all these things, through my work over the years. You understand? That I am humble enough that it rewarded me. And I will reward her to reward you all. Even your children, they may get benefits from it. You understand? So, this is Akwesi talking to my Ghanaian brethren. You understand? They have too much to be saying and not doing. Saying? That may I say to you. Because all this thing about Libya, yeah, it's true. They are mistreating. We said that long time too. And the whole Muslims feasibility said, but what can we do? We met the United Nations understand. And we say, we are talking about the bigger ones, them, and Al-Islam, the Muslim that rep in this country. You understand? Even my sheikh works with the United Nations. And all those things are being tabled. But true, them people want money star. They want the gold bullion out of Libya and they want the oil, crude oil. You understand? Is like the number one thing in the world for America and Britain and France and Germany. You understand? It's just unfortunate that you all don't understand that you have a gift. So you give it away. And then you want to chat something. I'm against that, man. I'm not against you, but I'm against what come out of your damn mouth. You understand? So I'm going to go up to Galaxy and come back down to Mars and we're there upon the scene again. Watch it. That tune, why me play that tune? Because it's not every single day things will be the same. It's not every moment things will be the same. But you see, when you strive in life for a thing, and especially how we are trying to redeem ourselves, it's every day you have to stay focused. And the most important thing to me in generalizing is to be truthful. If one is focused and be truthful to themselves first, and them family, and their immediate connection, right? Truth will be spread. You understand? To yourself first, then your immediate family, and then your circle of company, that in Islam we call brothers and sisters. Then you see the light, Noor. Noor will accommodate us, all of us, because it's not my truth, it's all of our truths. See? Because we're there to counsel and support and help each other. We not dictate truth. Neither we dictating responsiveness. We come from a different mental persuasion to all those others you associate yourself with. And you better go back and look at your parents' them Islamic identity and not try to tell people, say, you leave it because it was this, that, and the other. Most of you people, them, you want the girl half naked and all kind of thing. And you won't tell the truth. And you went after one that you could see her. And the one that your parents didn't want you to be with and you yourself grew up with. True, you couldn't see her and do things to her at that early stage. Would that change? Speak the truth, man. Be a man. You couldn't control your loin and you miss out on tasting before you get married. You understand? That's the biggest problem with a lot of women. Them judgment is in between them legs. You think so me feel anywhere? Me's a man too, you know. It's a good thing that me have a good grandmother that teach me. Teach me. You understand? What she teach me? How to control my loin, man. And have respect for woman. Love them, but respect them and honor them. Mind them. And love them enough. Watch it, Dennis Manuel. No, man. Woman straight.
We gathering around, meditating our own way of life. The more you grow, it's the more you learn. Never too young to learn.
You know what's astonishing about me? I also was brought up with theological education, like all of us. But we have to make choices. You understand? And what I cannot understand between us Caribbeans and the Africans at home, how is it that the thing that you don't know came into the continent and helped capture us and help convince you not to do or live the life in your spiritual journeys as you were before? You throw that aside and you pick up something that came in and was imposed upon you. Where you was at home free, we weren't. We were put in bondage and we were forced to. You had no choice. Also had to work. Had no choice. And we didn't know our names anymore. And we became John Smith, Arville, Peter, Michael, and Paul, and whoever. Strange, isn't it? And Mr. Brown, and Mr. Braffett, and Mr. Sampson, and all these things belonging to someone else. Where you was at home, Mr. Ojuku and Kwatwe. Eh? You had your name star. You had that. You had your culture, but you gave it up. And you took the book. You took the scripture. It was forced upon us. Now many of us refused it. That's how come you have Rastafari, you know. Nobody ever tell you. Have anyone ever explained that to you? In Haiti, we also created something else. In Brazil, we created something else. In Panama, we created something else. You understand? These are areas where my family come from. In Trinidad also, we created something else. But in Trinidad, it was particularly Al-Islam. And in Bermuda, it was particularly Al-Islam. Yes. Even in Jamaica too, Al-Islam. Don't matter how them try to push it aside and squeeze it down, you know. That kind of foolishness is about those who feel so that the book and the Europeans give them certain amount of opportunity and them can't help it. They cannot. But they can. Because them still say, Yale Rastafari, even though them not Rasta. See? Hypocritical talking. But we can live and bear with that. But you all, oh gosh, man, it's a problem. And those Americans as well, it's a big problem. Big problem. Why I'm saying it like this, my brother, let me tell you something. All the freedom fighters that you find in America, them a Caribbean extract. Either the mommy was a Caribbean person or them father, a Caribbean person. They didn't all hip on to Marcus Garvey or anything like that, but the fact is, that's where they came from. You understand? And a small little island, you know, and we have big, big heart, and we're tough. We never give up. See? That's it. Until we learn something quick and understand the something, we not stop talk. And we not stop fueling other people them and get them to stand up and turn the ratty thing round. See? So what they did to us? You see them kill we? Them assassinate we. We think them do to our children, to the children of those people, with exception of Martin Luther King. Them put them in jail, call them political prisoners. In Louisiana, them have such a prison, you know, with loads of African Caribbean people and loads of real freedom fighters are in prison. Them man there that you find on your YouTube and them people that you believe say you need for follow and listen to, them man they don't deal with those people. You understand? They don't even recognize them people there. And those people are suffering, star. Some of them have been there for 50-something years. You understand? Barack Obama's supposed to come and give some of them people them some freedom. Him never look upon them. Never look upon them at all. Just like our brothers in Guantanamo, down there, Cuba. Never look upon them. You understand? So when you think about Africa and we, for me it's a vexation, man. And now you have my brothers and sisters that come to your continent and I have dance. We expect that blasted to do. Because them are ignorant. They're ignorant. And people like you help increase the ignorancy in them. So instead of them go home and try to resurrect, them go home, they want to go home and have concerts. No, you must be over there going, look what happened to Sudan. No, Sudan, feasibility, me tell you. The British do not forget anything. Don't matter how many centuries pass. So they're still trying to kick Sudan's face in. You understand? For General Garden. See? Churchill did a nasty down there. Read your history. And now, this young man them have there of Saudi Arabia is helping them to remove us from the scene. Anything that is feasibility to suppress it. Now you're going to find out, the world will find out who the Arabs are. The original. Me not talk about no imposters. You understand? These things are important to you. We accept and we understand. Because we have come of age. I keep trying to tell people that we have come of age. We are reading. We are reading. We're not follow. We're reading. You understand? And we are unearthing so much. What day you done hear say that the French then went to Mali and them start shout out about Al-Qaeda, this, that, the other. What they wanted to do was to grab all of the findings and take them away or burn them. You understand? Now, them can't take our liberty from us, man. And you're not finding that in Christianity. This is the strangest thing about the diasporan black people, African people. Them think they're going to find salvation in the man's book. Them think they're going to find reparation and emancipation in the man's book. How silly is that? Not ignorant yet, you know. How silly is it? That's what you're thinking. Don't want to give no respect, no honor to your own people. Strange, innit? And the reason being is because it asks of us to do things. You understand? It does. It dictates what you can do and what you can't do. And that's what you seem not to like. You like the European way. Yeah? Nah, star. If you understand that we have to make transition, but the only reason why transition was easy for us to do is our grandparents We were raised and helped and guided and taught by them. So we know of you before you told us. And you didn't. It's the Europeans that kept telling us. So we knew of where we come from, as in Africa, and we knew some customs. You understand? Just that we still don't know what region. And they always said that God will provide and show us and guide us that way. Just like Augustus Pablo and them say, have faith and wait. You understand? We will get through. So I come up in a circle like that, man. Not this sort of dege foolishness. You understand? And it's very important to be able to have literature that belongs to yourselves and you can decipher it. And in this case means read it, translate it. Yeah. You're not helping anyone. You see? So we give thanks, man, all the time. Now, I want to bring you something now. Big conversation. We want to be African-American sistering, yeah, that'll make the world understand and people like yourself understand that we're not foolish. And I keep telling you, right, we're not. Even my daughters, they soon come too. Yeah, watch it.
Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mulana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. You know, subhanAllah, Dr. Sherman Jackson, he has a phrase he's been saying a lot lately. And that's, he keeps talking about the difficulty and the challenges of speaking truth to pain. And I don't know about you, but sitting here, listening, has been painful. It's been an experience where you're just like, oh, please say something to make me laugh, to, you know, remove this burden.
Oh, sorry. What I'm trying to do here now is show people out there in terms of us evolving, being black and Muslim, or our faith is Al-Islam. We're not getting hyped by dressing, going to the masjid, be a part of 1 billion. No. We learn also about us. See? So when you look at what you all see as Al-Islam without seeing yourself, then you must sit down and ask yourself, being African, what is it that we have accomplished beside the pyramids, blah, 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 right? So did God just, Allah, God Almighty, Jehovah, just kick us to the curb and everything else in the world doesn't resemble us in any shape or form? We didn't have no role to play in how the world evolved? Is that what it is? So that's why it's so important now to brandish a word that's been given to you by CNN and whoever else, that is supremacy, and you use it in such a way that you're not realizing you're giving such credence and power to another set of people, because it's been reversed, and we're the ones that part of the reverse of all of that. Without questioning, wait a minute, what role have we played? And not in terms of developing the world and inventions, you know. What role did we play in humanity? What role did we play in humanity? How is it that when I give Julius Caesar, Paul, all these critics, I can go on a lot more, but how come? I know the Pope of Rome kissing 6 Sudanese feet, symbolic gestures of what? Overthrowing Sudan and making the rest of Africa feel so that Catholicism is the right way to go, because this man is so noble and humble, he's going to bow down and kiss the shoes of 6 African men. I mean, that's got a great impact. Great impact. They're going to say this is Christ on earth, everything. So now, we've been mentally confused. Yes. I try to rearrange that? We can't. That's like mental indoctrination on the spot. How do you rearrange that? You cannot do it. We can't do it. A month from before that, them had a doll. Them have this symbolic parade again. A black doll. And it was passed through many hands and it was given to the Pope. And them gone somewhere with it. Walk this place and walk that place and gone somewhere with it. And it wasn't pale skin or nothing like that. It was black. What was all that about? See, these gestures capture us, man. And those people on the continent, they're all embracing this stuff. And America's like, you think China's anything? America's the field marshal of Africa. Your friend, our brother, Barack Hussein Obama. And look how he came. He still used his family's name from his Kenyan side as a Muslim. But what was his attribute? Other than, and he didn't show any form of pride for Africans. Where? So I can't understand what it is that you all are trying to accomplish when there's so much visible there to see how the man is tricking. And then at the same time, the same YouTube thing with all these young African-American youth them that are transforming and resuggesting and turning the tables around to confuse a generation and don't have their eyes on what is actually happening around them where so much lives are being taken. Not that they didn't grow up in it. So what's that all about? And we don't want that shit to come here. Because if the mayor and Javid have their way, the policeman them here will have gone. And they're going to shoot us. And you from Ghana, you'll be able to go on home and leave her backside in the heat. Think of Mark Duggan. What was all that about? There was a gun that wasn't fired. There was a gun. Hey, so much conversations. But the young man got killed. And various others. Because when it's us, there's all sorts of flimsy conversation. In America, it's the same thing, man. And when them all are white, when them all someone like them, there's enough conversation. A whole heap of remonstration, even fights, and the gun never get drawn, and the gun never get fired. But with us, you get beat up and gun get fired. So it's a serious problem. So saying all that, where does Islam fit in this and all this Muslim thing? It's not that we're not afraid of that. But we seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's protection around that and within that. You understand? So we have something to hold on to dear. And we're not saying to them, we dare you assault us. No. We don't have time for all that. We have time for developing, building, and coordinating ourselves. So let evil stay where evil is, and let righteousness and goodness stay where that should be. That's our concept, given to us by the Prophet of Islam. So now listen to me, sister now, Sister Sweet, Aisha. Yeah, man. Go on.
And I feel on my chest. So before I delve into it, I want to go back to the title of this session is called Easier Said Than Done, Unity in Diversity. I want to ask the audience actually about 2 to 3 questions, and you help me out. So the first thing I want to ask you is there any one group of people in general that you would say is left out of the unity of our community? Who's left out? The black people? What about the Asians? They left out? They good? She's like, they good. Who else? Anybody else? Native Americans, the Hispanics. Okay. Who would you say is the most left out? Black folk. You would say black folk. Okay. All right. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad. When you think of black, when I just use the word black in this context, in this setting, just call out some words that come to your mind. When you think, mashallah, you say beautiful. Call out some words that come to your mind, like black in America. What comes to your mind? Say it loud. What, traveled? Troubled. What else? Powerful. What else? Oppressed, angry, murder. Yes, indeed. Say again? Poverty, yes. Violence, police brutality. Okay, so yeah, all right, we on the same page. So I've been challenged with the topic. The general topic was unity, easier said than done, unity and diversity. And specifically for me, I'm supposed to cover called being black and being Muslim. And many of you are familiar with this. This phrase came together about 2 years ago in some of the aftermath of some of the things that you've called out. So before I even begin, though, before we even jump into it, I want us to have a collective intention, inshallah. Because if we have a collective intention, then even by that, we may have some unity. We may have something that we can walk out together. We can walk out of this session with. The beloved Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wasalam, he said that every action is by its intention, and you will be dealt with according to what you intended. So it's extremely, we want Allah to deal with us in mercy, right? And I don't want this to be another session because it is an extremely important session. I don't want this to be a mass session that you walk out of and you're wondering, you're saying, say, wow, that was interesting. What was it about? It was interesting. What did he talk? Yeah, he was talking, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was interesting, right? Next week, you'll be like, how was mass? It was interesting. What sessions you went to? Some about disagreement and some about culture, right? I want us to walk away with something that's strong. So bi'idhnillah, I'm going to call out a few intentions, and please grab them and place them in your heart. We're here by the intention to expose ourselves to the mercy of Allah. We're here by the intention to expose ourselves to the healing of Allah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will strengthen the ummah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. That He will allow us to walk away from our sicknesses and our illnesses internally. And that He will grant us an expansion and a wisdom. That He will grant us an enlightenment, that He will remove and eradicate any darkness that leads to sin in our hearts, that we may be removed from kibr or inequality that would take us away from the garden of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're here by the intention that we can save ourselves and our children from the hellfire. We're here by the intention that we can be a means of upliftment and empowerment to each other. We're here by the means that we're here by the intention that we can be a means to the solution. Say Allahumma ameen. So being black and Muslim, I want to quote this. So interesting that this, when I thought about this topic, it was actually a very white writer that came to my mind, Charles Dickens. And you're probably very familiar with it. Said being black and being Muslim to me right now is, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. Because if I talk about being black, we automatically think of the opposite. right? And that's a conditioning. That if I were, and I am going to get to it, let me make sure I'm on right time, right? That when we think of being black in America, it's impossible to talk about that without white supremacy, right? And not just white supremacy in general, but white male supremacy and white Christian male supremacy. It's impossible to talk about that in this context without that. But the problem with that is we always start there, making ourselves or making blackness a footnote in his story. But if so I'm going to start at the end with being Muslim, because if we were to look at the Quran, the majority of the Quran takes place in Africa. The majority of the stories in the Quran are talking about the lives and the lives of black folk and revelation that came to them and how that began to spread through the world. Majority of these stories are taking place inside those contexts. But for whatever reason, if I were to say to you, list for me some black folk in the Quran, what would you say? Right? You say, little girl, say, Luqman, I get it. Right? We would begin to let me think about it for a minute. Even though majority of it takes place inside of Africa. So I want us to begin, because especially as Muslims, our default answer of black and Muslim is Bilal ibn Rabah, radiallahu ta'ala anhu. That's like our default answer, as if he was the only black person ever in Islamic history. And so the problem with that, the narrative with that, is that we begin to equate that, we're always equating blackness and slavery. Right? We're not equating blackness with the Quran. We're not equating blackness with righteousness. We're not equating blackness with an intrinsic nature in Islam. But subhanAllah, we're not equating blackness with the origin of its word, which is the origin of aswad is mastery. Right? So how do what blackness and mastery, how does that relate? We got to go back to what our brother Sheikh Mikael mentioned before, with when that knowledge comes in. So let's give a review of it. So my daughter, who's a taekwondo, she's 6, she's doing her, she's got her blue belt, right? So when she masters that, what will she get? What color belt will she get? She will get a black belt. And when you have mastered the law, what robe will you wear? You're gonna wear a black robe. Right? So and how is that? That means that you have mastered a level of language. And so through this, we're going to just kind of get through, well, what have black folk mastered in order to live up? Or what is it that they need to master? Or what lessons must they extract from the Quran and the examples throughout history in order so that they would be considered masters, and masters of what? So I'm gonna skip, actually. I'm going to go to... I'm going to talk about Hajar for a moment, right? And it's important because when we think about Egypt, many times we think about like Cairo today. And the interesting thing about Cairo today is it looks nothing like Egypt looked then, right? Especially, and part of that is because if you recognize what Pharaoh did for that period of time, is that very similar to what's happening today, is he removed generations of black men, and so then those women were left to intermarry with other people. So what happens is that when you remove generations of black men, when you skim them off the top, you begin to have people that look a little lighter in color until you get what we have in Egypt today. But that's and that's talking about hundreds of years of that transition. And then they kind of, then we say, Nubians, but how we separate ourselves, subhanAllah. So I want to talk about Hajar because this is a woman without a shadow of a doubt that was a black woman. And when subhanAllah, the place that she holds in Islam is so great and magnificent in the fact that she's given this great maqam because she stands on yaqeen in the face of some serious in the face of some serious adversity, in the face of what would seemingly be a trial, have I been left? Have I been abandoned? Right? Am I going to stand alone in this situation? But subhanAllah, Allah literally begins to build the holiest Islamic city and the Islamic state around her. And you cannot finish Hajj, you cannot complete your fifth pillar of this deen unless you walk in the footsteps of Hajar. Right? So
Right. I have to elaborate and cut. Hagar is Ishmael alayhi salam's mother. In the Bible, she's called Hagar. If you didn't know. You understand? So, when our people them is trying to remove certain understandings from us, you need to understand what it is that we're saying over here. Yeah, Malik El-Shabazz, talk.
Before I get involved in anything nowadays, I have to straighten out my own position, and which is clear. I am not a racist in any form whatsoever. I don't believe in any form of racism. I don't believe in any form of discrimination or segregation. I believe in Islam. I'm a Muslim, and there's nothing wrong with being a Muslim. Nothing wrong with the religion of Islam. That just teaches us to believe in Allah as the God, and those of you who are Christians probably believe in the same God. Because I think you believe in the God who created the universe, and that's the one we believe in, the one who created the universe. The only difference being, you call him God, and we call him Allah. Jews call him Jehovah. If you could understand Hebrew, you'd probably call him Jehovah too. If you could understand Arabic, you'd probably call him Allah. But since the white man, your friend, took your language away from you during slavery, the only language you know is his language, your friend's language. So you call for the same God he calls for. When he's putting a rope around your neck, you call for God, and he calls for God. And you wonder why the one you call on never answers you. When I was in the Black Muslim movement, they didn't have the real religion of Islam in that movement. It was something else. But the real religion of Islam doesn't teach anyone to judge another human being by the color of his skin. The yardstick that is used by the Muslim to measure another man is not the man's color, but the man's deeds, the man's conscious behavior, the man's intention. And when you use that as a standard of measurement or judgment, you never go wrong. But when you just judge a man because of the color of his skin, then you're committing a crime, because that's the worst kind of judgment. If you judge him just because he was a Jew, that's not as bad as judging him because he's black. Because the Jew can hide his religion. He can say he's something else, in which a lot of them do that. They say they're something else. But the black man can't hide. When they start indicting us because of our color, that means we're indicted before we're born, which is the worst kind of crime that can be committed. Elijah Muhammad had taught us that the white man could not enter into Mecca in Arabia, and all of us who followed him, we believed it. And he said the reason he couldn't enter was because he's white and inherently evil, and it's impossible to change him. And the only thing that would change him is Islam, and he can't accept Islam because by nature he's evil. And therefore, by not being able to accept Islam and become a Muslim, he could never enter Mecca. And this is how he taught us. And so when I got over there and went to Mecca and saw these people who blonde and blue-eyed and pale skin and all those things, I said, well, but I watched them closely, and I noticed that there was, though they were white, and they would call themselves white, there was a difference between them and the white one over here. And that basic difference was this. In Asia or the Arab world or in Africa, where the Muslims are, if you find one who says he's white, all he's doing is using an adjective to describe something that's incidental about him, one of his incidental characteristics. So there's nothing else to it. He's just white. But when you get the white man over here in America and he says he's white, he means something else. You can listen to the sound of his voice when he says he's white. He means he's boss. That's right. That's what white means.
Okay, definitions, okay, in terms of treatment and understanding.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies. Everybody is here. As many of you know, last March, when it was announced that I was no longer in the Black Muslim movement, it was pointed out that it was my intention to work among the 22 million non-Muslim Afro-Americans and to try and form some type of organization or create a situation where the young people, our young people, the students and others, could study the problems of our people for a period of time and then come up with a new analysis and give us some new ideas and some new suggestions as to how to approach a problem that too many other people had been playing around with for too long. And that we would have some kind of meeting and determine at a later date whether to form a black nationalist party or a black nationalist army. There have been many of our people across the country from all walks of life who have taken it upon themselves to try and pool their ideas and to come up with some kind of solution to the problem that confronts all of our people. And tonight we are here to try and get an understanding of what it is they've come up with. Also, recently, when I was blessed to make a trip or a pilgrimage, a religious pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca, where I met many people from all over the world, plus spent many weeks in Africa, trying to broaden my own scope and get more of an open mind to look at the problem as it actually is. One of the things that I realized, and I realized this even before going over there, was that our African brothers have gained their independence faster than you and I here in America have. They've also gained recognition and respect as human beings much faster than you and I. Just 10 years ago on the African continent, our people were colonized. They were suffering all forms of colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and every other kind of Asian. And in a short time, they have gained more independence, more recognition, more respect as human beings than you and I have. And you and I live in a country which is supposed to be the citadel of education, freedom, justice, democracy, and all of those other pretty sounding words. So it was our intention to try and find out what was our African brothers doing to get results so that you and I could study what they had done and perhaps gain from that study or benefit from their experiences. And my traveling over there was designed to help to find out how. One of the first things that the independent African nations did was to form an organization called the Organization of African Unity. The purpose of our Organization of Afro-American Unity, which has the same aim and objective, to fight whoever gets in our way. To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
Right. You see, our brothers and sisters from the Pan-African groups, them love that. You understand? And there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't just sit down. On the top of that was the knowledge. See? And I've mentioned it before, earlier on. And this is in the days of Nkrumah, Idi Amin, Jojo Kenyatta, and all these other people. Yeah. No. what have we, as black people in the diaspora, what have we accomplished in the 70 odd years? Really accomplished, but conversations. See? So, when you think about Malak al-Shabazz, you know same at them foundation in Al-Islam, but you should also recognize that from Hajj going into Africa, going into the heart of Africa among the people, not just the pilgrimage, because, Mansa Musa, he was very powerful, very rich, and he making pilgrimage too. You understand? So, him get elevated from his pilgrimage, then him go and sit down with him brothers and sisters and make acquaintance with them as to looking forward to redeem us who's outside in the diaspora and those who is close to in the U.S. You understand? And you should love that which you do, but you just don't seem to understand the implementation. So, here comes those children now. Part of us, we are the children. As in his children, as in the daughter, because his grandson have left us, was murdered. So we are here, evolved now, and with education, with knowledge. Knowledge of ourselves, knowledge of that which we are part of, which is our life now and death, which is Al-Islam. Yeah, we know our role, we know our position, and we know the origin. But then you still have those people who want to tell you, say, hey, see them Arabs, them do with this, them do with that, and them castrate we and them turn we into eunuchs and everything else. And you said, okay. And then you said, so where you going with that now? And them say, when I deal with them something there. And you say, well, qualify what you're actually projecting. And that's where it lies. That's where it lies. You understand? It's supposed to be such a degrading situation. And the fact that we are following some Arabs, right? And there's no definition of who these Arabs are and what are these Arabs and everything. So they acquaint this Arab talking to Islam, and then someone like us now, and Malcolm, Malak al-Shabazz, and W.D. Muhammad, and various others will say around and say, well, are you alluding to the fact that Islam and us have nothing in common? Yes, the Arab thing. And how did you come to that conclusion? Some shouts out John Henry Clark, to which they're lying, because he never said that. He said that Islam is such, but if it's not been applied and implemented, they might as well just throw it in the trash heap of history. He did say that. But why is he the litmus test? But at the same time, he's a researcher and so forth, and he had his views and comments. But he also respected everyone's views and comments and his research. But there was a problem. Not a big problem, but a little thing to look at. There was a prejudice there. But there was no prejudice from his Jewish tutors, people who he learned from, people who he got him first set of books from. So you see, back to the theological education, we can't fault ourselves when that's all we were receiving. It's very difficult to break. Chancellor Williams, but the same. Marcus Garvey, but the same. Everybody. It's very difficult to break the connection, because you eat, sleep, drink, and breathe. That's what we were taught. All of us. No exception. But the best out of them, being Elijah Muhammad and Malak al-Shabazz and Juali and others, you still had Dr. Ben, whose authentication was an Abyssinian. Yeah, you understand? And receiving variant education. I tell you. Now, when you spice that up, you better pay attention and listen carefully. That's it. You understand? That's it. I'm simply saying, stop this kicking. Stop this kicking. Because if Malachi Shabazz was here now, the hypocrites will be there. You'll be saying, yeah, man, we there with that man there. What would have made him change? What would have made you change to say that you follow that man or you listen to that man or that man inspire you? What would that be? By any means necessary. What would that be? Because him not forsake al-Islam, you know. Him not forsaking the 5 daily prayer, you know. He won't. He wouldn't have done that. He don't tell you no. He probably tells some of you all that you're sitting in your damn stupid ways. You need to get off your ass and really understand things and do things. Stop dwelling. Find something that fits you, that looks like you and fits you, and correct you along your journey. We don't want that. We just want to continue the same gallus little way that I've learned from the Europeans, and try to make things fair seeming and go on about our business. Sad. And so I say from the time I sit down here now, Islam have a whole heap of do's and don'ts. Whole heap of do's and don'ts. What you can do and what you can't do. What the world seems to be trying to do is to stink up Islam. They can stink up some Muslims. But believe me, till my death come, them can't stink up al-Islam. Nobody can. Man will do what man does. I am do good, I am doing different, I am being wicked. And all they're trying to do is project some evil, some wickedness, some nastiness towards Muslims. And it backfired on 9/11. More Americans than view and became Muslims than ever. More white people, Caucasian people embrace al-Islam than ever. It had an adverse effect. All them did was mess up Iraq, and now them mess up Syria and Libya. 3 countries them destroy, and generations of people and their legacy them stole and bring back to their blasted museums and them places, and whatever they didn't get for steal, them already destroy with their bombs. Isn't that a lesson that we have learned as Africans already? Them destroy with my name Arville. Mr. Peters. Who the backside is Peter? Peter's the grandson of one of the plantation owners. And then you get the grandson of your father, Ishmael alayhi salam, come tell you, say Ahad, and change yourself and upright yourself and live in this world. In this world, not just pass through it as a survivor. And you say, nah, mate, we're not doing that. Right? No, mate, you're not doing that. See, you want to stay with your colonial teacher and make believe that you're trying to find a way out. That's why there's no Black Starliner being made, man. Can't you see? Understand it? Because if they really wanted to make the push, it was now to establish some Black Starliner shipping, what you call the thing, and start transport itself and with the arrangements and the relationship on the continent, and we're going back and forth. You take someone come last year to write it and stand up on IRFM platform and said that this is what they're attempting to do. Huh? How much years is that? The same 73 me I chat about? And it's something they're thinking and they're trying to bring into play, and them are try to talk to George Weir. Huh? George Weir. That just gone into a politics and hoping somehow him can get things working. Him need assistance. Him can't give in on. Him need assistance. Really and truly, we need to think. We need to think. If we not think, we're this child.
Oh yeah. La la. No, I didn't want them in the olden days. They laughed at him and wouldn't change their ways. Little did they know it would be dread on their side. They suffered for it 40 days and nights.
You're the mighty upsetter. Man called Lee Perry. Yeah, I got to run some music because I have enough things to do. Yeah, the turntable is active, you know what I mean? So the man there who thinks is something, you better know. Easy principle. Big tune. Many moves of King Tobies. World Jam, Things in Times, and a .com. Yeah, man.
Non-stopping, hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming.
Mr. Music Man. Yeah. Ah, yeah. Mr. Music Man, play a little song for me. I want to hear you definitely. You know it means the word to me.
Same.
Keep it up.
Give it up, man, call out Campbell.
Keep it up.
And him still not gamble, you know.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Music for the young and old. Music to rock your soul. Music to make me feel sweet. keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Just keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Mr. Music
Non-stopping, hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming.
We must do speed. We must make a speed check.
Hey, 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 ooh, ooh, ooh. Where were you when I
Non-stopping, hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming.
Al Campbell again, man. Where were you, Ghana? Come on, man.
Where were you when I want
Someone to lean on.
someone to lean on? Where were you when I need someone to cry on? When you said that you would stay, I stopped running and came your way.
Non-stopping, hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming.
Baby girl.
Al Campbell.
There is a time when the grass is green, little angel. There is a time when a man is happy, when you are near. When the grass is green, I'm happy. It's a time for love. For me, there's no love at
Non-stopping,
all.
hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming.
Wash off my troubles away. Oh yeah, whoa, 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 yeah. Wash off my troubles away.
Mighty King Tubby, man, in a different style. Many moods.
Show me that river. Take me across and wash all my troubles away. Like that lucky old soul, give me nothing to do but roll ahead all day. So wash up sinners, wash all my troubles away. Whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah. Roots rockin' reggae tonight, yeah, yeah. Roots rockin' reggae music make we feel so nice, yeah. No World Jack Global Radio, big up on yourself, this is Mikey General, you don't know, I'm gonna play the sweetest music.
Mighty King Tubby's, man. Many moods.
I can't sleep at night. Dying all the time. Since I met this little woman, the same thing has happened to me. I've got to tell you now, it's too late to turn back now. I believe, I'm falling in love. It's too late to turn back now. I believe, I'm falling in love. One must have calling her at least 10 times a day. So are you too old for me to carry on? Roots rockin' reggae tonight. Yeah, yeah.
And you know who that woman is? I'm a wife from Africa. You understand? Yeah, man. Proud of the thing. The fact. You understand? Serious. Extraordinary serious. Listen. Listen, man. Version.
It's the Amaki place in iration. It's the Amaki.
We're always thinking of Africa. Always wanting to go home. Always dreaming. You understand? So the reality check will come. And without the sauce of the good Minto and others to bring it right up here, gosh, man, you would have suffered some form of mental disease.
Hey, World Jam Global Radio Station, I'm online, me represent to the fullest. Yeah, my World Jam. Hotter than them. Hotter than them. Hotter than them.
Version. It's climatic. Check the construct. And the deep meditation, all we can see is the beauty of the continent. And when I chat about the woman and the art desire spiritually to be at home, what we call home. Them thing they call deep roots. Five musicians. And the feeling, the aspiration, the dream, the desire is to the continent. Nothing more. I agree. Well charged.
Hey, World Jam Global Radio Station, I'm online, me represent to the fullest. Yeah, my World Jam. Hotter than them. Hotter than them. Hotter than them.
Listen carefully. Well, Sean, I take you to school.
Mr. World Jam Global Radio, Jigs and Attack. It's a radio station, it's my station. Some boy if you know that. We play good music, conscious music for every nation. So guess what now?
The mighty Augustus Pablo. Seems like we need some more power around here.
Mr. World Jam Global Radio, Jigs and Attack. It's a radio station, it's my station. Some boy if you know that. We play good music, conscious music for every nation. So guess what now?
Once again, rockers reggae music.
See, so we stop.
After all is
And after all is said,
So we stop, man. Listen.
after all is
and after all is said and done, everyone must acknowledge the great one of creation.
Yeah, you see, Facebook, when I come on, I disobeyed the instruction. And this tune here get me lock off. See? But you see, we select now, we select Wise. That's why I say that. You see, him notify Luciano support and make it known say him have the tune. So how you gonna make the people them just buy the tune when you game the tune? You understand? And that situation get rectified. So we say give thanks. But here what now? It not rectified because me there on Facebook. So something now go on. But me know say we not rectified. So me say give thanks. Give thanks to the management team down there in Florida. Give thanks to Luciana team. Give thanks to principal and the wise ones them. You understand? So we are played we are played today. You understand? And we know say we was the first playing it. That's why me want to play it. And me disobey him and play it and then boom. But what you game for? This is what me can't understand, you know. The sound is not on the road yet. So if that's what you game for play it on the road, it's the same thing, you know. It's just when you have in the dance hall, there's people, but this is the dance hall on the radio. So I don't understand. Anyway, Luciano, is there reckoning?
And after all is said and done, everyone must acknowledge the great one of creation. And so we must humble ourselves and serve him. There's gonna be a day of reckoning. Each man will be paid according to his word. There's got to be a day of reckoning. So be careful how you.
And you know, so women know, there was a bad-minded individual, you know, that decided to come make a complaint into the something. Because after talking to Uno, we don't know, say, we don't have a streak of badness in Uno. Right? It's that person inside say, hey, how the man that played the tune before we? Rest yourself. Whoever you are, man, rest yourself. Seriously. You understand? Luciana, hold the stubbies in your cooking back. And it couldn't be this also that you stopped me for. Because this belong to we. Watch it. Casada piece.
Good day to the people in Cassava Peace. Now this sound little we call Cassava Peace is how we play. And so you gotta let the love shine bright along the way, that we tell you. Good guys! You got to live the life you love and love the life you live, as I would really say. The sound of called Cassava Peace is how we really tell you. Good guys! Tell about it. I tell you. You know, I know. The sound are coming down along the ways I would play.
See, I was 14 at that right point in time, so rest yourself.
African sound. Let's be the tie that bide. I heart into heart to Christian love. Yeah. It's like the fellowship of kindred man. Yeah.
No more worry.
Like the fellowship of the great light above.
No more crying.
This is the courtesy of Big Youth and Bonnie Wheeler. You understand? So right now we have to tell you, say, it's only because we have a shade of skin And if we behave like this amount for ourselves, how is it possible that we are going to reach the pinnacle of being a united Africa when we're still a foolish here? Come on.
World Jam Global Radio. This is clarity.
Listen.
Dark brown shade of my skin, only had color to my tears. That splash against my olive bones, that rocks my soul. Looking back over my past dreams that I once knew, wondering why my dreams never came true. Somebody tell me, what can I do? Something is holding me back. Is that because I'm black? In this world of no pity, I was raised in the ghetto of the city. Mama, she worked so hard to earn every penny. Something is holding me back. Is it because I'm black? Something is holding me back. I'm wondering if it's because I'm black.
Yeah, that have a lot to do with it, said we. But it's understandable. Sometimes we spend too much time, I think, about the opposition are another than ourselves. And me I fall into that too. Anyhow, couple weeks ago, I talked about the something that was taking place in all our schools and the test case that's been running in Birmingham. Hence why I went and do one dance up there in the Midlands. So, I have to remind people still, that the innocence of our children is not for the government to legislate our teachers, our individuals within the educational fraternity to stimulate our children. That's us, the parents. We gave birth to them. We brought them here, not them, not no system. They want to legislate that for themselves. Them can do that. No, we will find out and recognize, and I say we, as the African Caribbean people in this country, right? And the same thing applies to America, said we. How valuable we are and what form of institutions we have and what kind of connections we have as a people. Not as a damn community, which we don't have, but as a people, what type of institutions, what kind of structure we have. Because when you find yourself naked and you realize that there's something missing, lacking. And the only way we're gonna get any form of support and recognition is when we have these things. And because we're going to be late on the starting gate, then we're gonna cry wolf. The curiosity and imagination is natural for young people because we are worthier, so we should understand that because we experience it. And we still are experiencing it now as adults, but no, our faculties are more developed, so we can choose to ignore or choose to be curious. When these people take our children and use these terms and inquisitiveness on them. Listen here. We're allowing them to make our children curious. Allowing them to make our children curious. I'm telling you. And follow a pattern that they want. That big agenda that they want. Now, when someone fall into that, there's no redemption, you know. The stain is too deep. The stain is too deep. It's a curse. We have to wake up and recognize and be there to support our children. And be there and support the parent school governors. Don't matter if you're just one. Make your presence heard. And we're not talking about yowling and screaming and everything, you know. Because that not work. You're there to pass a view and an opinion and up for your child to be not part of. Serious thing. The curiosity and imagination, these people are working on the souls of our children, of young people. And why does it become inquisitive? They will try certain things. They will. Remember how many hours a day we are giving them as carers of our children in an educational and institutionalized environment. And with all of these different type of people with their own perception on what life is and should be legislated for life and freedom of expressions, listen, them find themselves believing that they are law unto themselves, and they use that environment. They use that environment. So if we're not visible, if we're not recognizing, our children will fall prey to curiosities and inquisitiveness. I'm telling you. They will change the whole characteristics and the mental perception and the morals of our children. And it will be we who have allowed this to happen. Because perhaps some of us are waiting for other people to do something so they can ride on their shoulders. It's all of us. Because when our children return home, we should try to understand from them how was their day. These are critical times. But since we believe so much and trust so much in our theological education and the practitioners of it, we seem to trust them. We will fail yet again. This is not cricket, you know. This is about life. This is a life journey. We haven't set up any form of institution to look into mental health issues around us that we're part and parcel of. Because everybody, but particularly us, because when we get when some of our people get sectioned, why have they been sectioned? It's easier than taking them to the police station and beat them up. And once they're sectioned and injected and have a bout of medication, you know, say that they have no use to themselves. Sorry. We have a lot of problems on the street that if you listen to the popular news or you're in certain districts or certain areas, boroughs, you know, so that the people them that's creating the havoc, they're mental health patients. That have missed their medication or their supervisor gone off shopping or something and left them. And something triggers them off. That's why all the crime that's out there, all the incidents that occurs, that have been occurring, they're not of one source. It shouldn't just reflect able bodies, young people committing such crime. But when you listen to their popular radio, everything is dash on us. Them fail to tell you straight and make it clear. But yet still they will sit down in Central Hall and make it be known because they're queuing up for some more funds for National Health Service and for medical service in relation to mental health. And they might use the royal sons, Diana's sons, because of the statements that they have made. But nothing don't trickle down. So that's one side. But this education, this teaching that's taking place in the schools among these different perverse people, we have to be on that. And it's a test case in Birmingham, you know, don't mean say it now legislate in London. It's a test case up there because of the strong Islamic institutions that deal with certain educational structures and papers to see how them confront it. And once them go through the whole test case scenario with them, you know so that London gonna get lashed because London makes them not get support from the European Askanakis. Them busy with Labour. So the only support going to be the Muslim. And the Muslims is tied up with the Mayor of London. We're tied up with him. He's a liberal-minded, non-practicing, it is said by himself, Muslim. So him will support it. He has been supporting. So had I know is a thing that's always come late. Okay. So the words I use is the curiosity and the imagination and being inquisitive. Now factor that in your own consciousness and realize your sensibility and realize no, if your child or you was undergoing that type of indoctrination or that type of explanation, what would you find yourself doing? Experimenting. Because you're curious about something. and you're inquisitive. So now you just find yourself like a scientist. You want an experiment. So now that's been inflicted on some young minds. They coerce them. Same way some parents, them don't check them children, them bags and see if when they left, what they've come home with is of the same. And the child is not even 14 and have all 2 phones, especially iPhones. I just don't understand that. And you well know you didn't purchase that phone. Or phones. You didn't purchase one, but yet still them have so much. And an iPad. Strange things. So we need to look into these things carefully. But I'm telling you, that change in education, we have to stay with that, stay focused. Some of you are saying, what is he really talking about? I'm talking about how they want to try so many children and throw the Bible, your book, to the side. And just tell you, say, listen, this is the 21st century, and this is democracy, and we have freedom of expression, and we have freedom of sexual desires, etc., etc. You understand? Now, I've just given you the hint and understanding for those of you who are still playing around like you don't understand. Yeah, so, the racism. Now you have the football or something. I don't tell you something about this football thing, you know. And today me hear something so profound that him said, one brother, him turned around and said, it is not the racism of yesterday. It is the racism in football today is based on economics. And I try to break it down to say, listen here, it's those people that watch we're not paying attention to ourselves. And some of the young black players out there attending to themselves and their families and their surroundings. Because they make money. And if they're using their money in such a good way to support people, encourage people, and so forth, that is not what is liked. It's not being liked. Then you have the other side of the things where the working class man him go to the pub near to the football ground, because he can't afford the blasted season ticket. He finds it very difficult. So football in many places have become a middle class, and then people that don't want to see a blasted black man high-fiving and all kind of something, regardless if them a play for the team that them support or not. So now them singling out Raheem Sterling like he's the catalyst of saying enough is enough. No. This thing is come across from Europe where them African brothers are saying enough is it, them not have it. What they want over here is for these brothers them here not to follow them and walk off pitch. That's what the real concern is in some quarters, especially the FA. They say, no, we won't be able, we won't legislate that, we won't be tolerating that. Tolerating, you know. And at them get abused or offended. Make somebody make some gesture, which has been done last year and various other times about these Eskanakis. You see what happened? Police find the persons, the league and the club ban the persons, and the football team itself have to justify certain things and certain systems are put in place and everything, especially if it's a player that make a certain gesture that them says linked to Germany in 1940, whatever. A serious thing. And them can find no confidence in the Labour Party, disciplinary our research body to see where racism, officers have racial tendencies and so forth. What do? We just out there deal with bashment. It's a serious thing. And some of us need to remember, it's when one of them reporters get to understand that this brother, this young man here, have done certain things for him family. Him never put it viral. And from then on his case, looking at a tattoo, this, that. Instead of writing something about how he's developed, since this new manager come, he might get more composed. Not even get more. He's returned to the way he was when he was playing at Liverpool. Even though he's not a follower. Serious thing. So where is our leadership that will stand up now and say, listen here, here's what needs to be done. Not need to be done. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to support you here, there, right? One person turned around today and said, all of these kick out and all them other thing, them never bear no fruit. It was just that they were responding to something to make black people believe, say, yeah. But if me, they say that now, somebody say, you're not supporting, all you do is criticize. And not just me, a whole heap of other people of us say that. That would be the response, the reaction we'll get from people. This situation here needs to be looked at carefully. Because I'm telling you, these young men, them, right, them see what Jabba, that's his name, Jabba from Chelsea, and all them see what some of them and them do with them money, And some of them I get to understand what some of the African brothers, they are Europe, are do with their money. How them help them family, how they helping various things going on in their villages and so forth. We're not just talking George Weir. We are go all the way back to Kanu and all of these brothers, We're not there for the Magic Johnson thing. I'm a basketball person, but they're not in that camp. We're not there for the Oprah Winfrey thing. All of these people are not into their thing. Make believe. You understand? So something's really happening. Right? Some of you all out there are touching a good card. And you need to recognize that. That helping to stimulate, along with their families, helping to stimulate the minds of some of these players. Right here. Right here. Because when the man said this racism here right now is economically based. That no black people, no black person is going to use the football collateral to help others. Then somebody want to talk about Regis and everything. Them don't know. Them talk about Larry Cunningham. Them don't know. Them talk about Paul Davis. Them don't know. We know these things. We know them. We knew them. We didn't just knew them watching football. We knew them personally. We know that the hardship that we went through. We know the perseverance. We know Brendan Baxton and all of them, man. We know the perseverance that they went through. Cleaning boots for years under so-called goddamn apprenticeship. Just waiting for the opportunity to kick a ball. And still not get the money as Charlie George and all these other guys them would have get because they're the wrong shade. We're not talking to John Barnes. Him don't know where him belong. It makes things seems that is all right without... No, it's not all right, mate. It's not all right. Even for England, they never want his ass in there. But it's not all right. But it's through his father, innit? It's through the military service and everything. You know, he has to give his allegiance. Yeah. We can understand that too. Because we have loads of us, man, coconuts, roast breadfruit. We have loads of us that sell out our families just to go up the road. You understand? Go up Hertfordshire and Glamorgan and Wiltshire and these places. Yeah. We know them. But when you come down to Hackney and Haringey and Brixton, you come down for sweet honey. Sweet her up and everything, get your little fill, and then you're going back somewhere else. And soon they start missing a little black pudding, you just come back down again. But you forgot still that you have 3 children, about the place. You don't forget. You just don't bother come feed them and take care of them and make a check available for them. All of these things is part of this whole blasted racism and nonsense because they're prejudiced of their own self. But two, we don't want to speak up. Want to brush it round the corner. And the same thing's going to happen with the school situation, that they're teaching our young people them to be inquisitive, developing the imagination into vain things and evil practices. And then we're going to say that the Lord allow us to change. Who said that? Where did you get that from? Even from the book. Where did you get that from? They just got to show you that the man wrote the thing themselves, them construct the thing. Ever so often them said that they matured, so them take this out and put this in, and take that out and put this in, and leave this and add something. Maturity called democracy. They have age now, we can change things to suit ourselves. And they would like Muslims to be like that. Why them take them Askanaki friend and make them like that? But them already have done like that, because that's why them beat up the Palestinians and set apartheid in a Palestine. And poor Jeremy, that has a liking and has a relationship with many Muslims, including myself, God damn it, there's no confidence in him. And they're making sure that the Labour Party can't get that position. Anyhow, them, hey, when they not pay attention, you know. David Lammy, by the time Labour won with Blair, you hear a whole heap of talk about David. Rightly so. He's not no slouch. But because it becomes so properly and understood, and his relationship in America was much more than Blair and his wife. Because him go to Harvard and him know enough people over there, sir, plus Baraka and him. Gosh, man, the man removed his position, demoted him subtly, slyly. And then make him to be an ordinary boy, like a peer's boy in a church. And then him had relationship situation that crash him too. So I'm just a mouthpiece right now. And the people in Haringey don't have no trust in him. Them see him weak. And me I said, we have to make him strong again. It's not a lost cause. We have to make him strong again. Support him. No wind rush him. The wind rush was meant to give him an uplift. And that shit now work because what the hell is this Windrush? Windrush is a ship. It's African Caribbean immigration. And that you're supposed to shout out. And then let it go because you look after everyone. Don't make them people that fool you that them say Windrush that means all encompassing. No, it's not. Let me be one of the administrative officers for the Home Office. May I deal with just the people them that come here from Mexico and Jamaica on that ship. Nobody else. On the backside, I'm going to take immigration and call it Windrush. When Windrush bought only a number of people here. And then you make it even worse when you say Windrush generation. That's the number of people that was on that ship. That's not the rest of the people them. They ain't gonna fall into a whole big argument, intellectual argument, strategic argument from an institutional level that we're gonna lose. We will lose. We always losing, goddammit. With all these stupid little trinklicks. And you can't talk anything now, read anything without them say Windrush. And then put the word generation. It's a division. It sounds good, but it's a division. It's a divisive tactics, intellectual tactics. Like we don't really know. So if we know, why we not do better? Because Darren Abbott come out there and this body come out there, next body come out there, and then bang it on 2 TV show of a discussion and make the people them in the audience look stupid. But you all never see it like that. Windrush, we on top of things. We top of what? It's African, it's Caribbean immigration families. You understand? That's what it is. And we're talking here of millions of goddamn British pounds. For what? For all the services them and the pension. Employment pensions. For a lot of peoples. They can stuff the blasted silver and gold ring, which they shouldn't. We should blasted ask for it. But they're going to turn around and say, but your mother has died, your father has died, so we have no jewelry to give them. And whilst we're at it, they're not here. So we cannot then question them on various things because we have no record of you. And they say, hold on. What do you mean I have no record of me? Them give birth to me. And here's the records of me. See, these are the tactics. These are the things that they're dealing with in that Home Office. So isolate us and then talk about the deceased. That there's nothing to answer here because the individuals that you're speaking of, they're deceased. Have you got any relevant, up-to-date documentation? Yeah, my family has. I don't know about the next family. And that's what we all should have been doing. But no, we got hyped on Windrush. They have party. Then we have Darren Abbott and all her colleagues. And everybody, well, not everybody. Some people feel say, yeah. No, never work. No one have called that woman that was working for the Prime Minister and question her, goddammit. And that's supposed to have happened. Forget about Javid who come now to change the structure and tell we say that he's going to make money available. What money? What money is going to make available? Making money available for guns and training for officers, for regular police. And making sure him get good report from the reb camps that them supposed to have honor them persons. That's what's happening. And training, more training. Not no hell to do with it, no rain rush. The man knows, them knows that's a joke. If it's not immigration, we lose big time. Because the people them come here through immigration from the islands. And you know something? We didn't even touch the continent. Because thousands came from the continent. It's in the 90s that them start bring their ass trading. The late 80s, them start move our families out as nurses and doctors out to the national health and replace them with some of the people them from down under. When I forget things, man. Or maybe you didn't know. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of unresolved cases of black men dying in police custody or dying at the hands of police officers. I know that. So where's the justice when we keep farting all over the place and not recognizing, realizing that we're in England and not recognizing how they behave and what is needed to be done? Because we have to be consistent. We not get results. And pastor interested in something else. Pastor not deal with the community. Pastor's not dealing with the borough. Pastor deal with his congregation. Rightly so, but if he was a shepherd, him have a duty for everybody. Why is he not legislating that? Because he's called pastor. He's following. And me, I say, turn them backside him into shepherds, because there's a responsibility. From the minute you take the word, you know said that the constitution of the word says this is your duty. And then we can add on to his duty. Not him add on. We can then add on, because what happens is, if he not take care of we, then we can say, listen, we need to move him out and bring someone else in. Not a she, a he. I don't know where the she thing come from. She can teach. She's not minister. She's not a leader. She's a mother. She balances. That's what the she does. We will come to that again some other time, because some of they vex and you love it to write it. But when your pastor screw off all the other women, them you say, oh God, man, dirty little bastard. So you want it both ways. You want it both ways. And when the she-woman come and start doing the same blast, they think there's no control of these things, then you turn around and say, oh my God. And where's God in all of this? It's not in this. It's yourselves. A glorified personal desires. That's why you can't take Al-Islam, because these things can't happen. See? So that's why I'm trying to brandish we bad. But like I said, they can deal with Muslims, but them can't deal with Al-Islam. Cannot. So them can try dirty me up, but them can't dirty up Al-Islam. Simple. And you're running from the best of yourselves, I tell you. Hagar, Ramses, you have to find out about these people. You have to understand that Egypt was overtaken. You have to find out that some of these Roman empires, these Roman Caesars, wanting to be pharaohs. They wanted to be priestly. You have to find out. And you also have to understand that Britain changed the image of Africa in a big way, sub-Saharan Africa. You ever understand that? When I play the next segment of our sister, you find out who Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all these other people, who we are. Because God Almighty of this earth, this universe, He's not racist. You understand? It's not racist. So everybody have a share, and everybody had a leader. Everybody has something. If some of us choose not to follow and obey. And now when right guidance has returned to us, we're refusing. We're refusing. For a lot of people in America, it's difficult because Farrakhan continued to tell them that all that did happen had to happen. And him trying to prove that slavery was a must. It had to happen. No. That's a nonsense. So you mean God say, okay, tens of thousands of the people that must be fed to the sharks and all these other things in the sea and all these other brutalities. So what happened to Israel? How come Israel's a land and not a people? Where is the 12? And how come 9 of them was rogues and they included in the 12 when they're supposed to be only 2? What's going on here? You're not reading for yourselves, right? And you find a problem counting. And the story that you're reading, whether you take it as an allegory, there's something wrong with it. And then you know that Israel was the name given to the Father, not a land, not a continent, not an area, not soil. And you know that the children were you, but yet still you deny that. And then you know that you should know that Egypt was yours, and you deny that. And because someone told you, you said, get you out, these children. Moses, take them, go away. Leave us alone, man. And because of this exodus, the people who left were white. And then when you want to talk, he said, Moses put his hand underneath his arm, then he brings it out, and it was white. Oh, he's one of us. And then what else happened? What else happened after that? See? Fairy tales and jumping around. See, acknowledging the fact that he's one of us, but yet still, why is he one of us? Should we not be obeying something? Knowing that he's bolt and he can run fast, you can't run fast. You just know him. He's gone. Before you blink, the man's gone to rotted. So all you know about him is that you said hello and he's gone. Came so fast. It should take time to understand that there was something that we did. I keep trying to say this, that we shouldn't have done. And the Almighty were helping us all the way. All people on this earth, He helps. Well, not He, but the Almighty helps. It's either we hear and obey, or we hear and we disobey, or we stick to what we are trying to do, or we are doing, whatever that is. How did I get here? I'm trying to build the thing to say that the best of ourselves, we need to deal with that, and we need to understand that we have committed wrongs. Try to keep sweeping things aside and say everything's all right. I say I want back our daughters. Some people turn around and say, watch her, him can't get no woman. Which woman? Me have wives. Which woman? Me too old now for flavors. So which woman? I want my girl children and your girl children to be respected and honored. To be respected and honored. Not to be ill-treated and sexualized, that by the time them ripe, real ripe, to be responsible women, nobody know want them. Them broke up already by some disgusting creatures called men. And seduced by some women. Some women love this thing. Them love this bashment thing. Them love all this bad behavior. And who turned them like that? Some dirty man. Min. And then we are cross to these people. Anyway, there's no significance with that something. Because it's death. No matter how you look at it, it's the balance of man. And the man, they're not balanced. The people that wear the damn thing is not balanced. And if Rome had a cross, that means misery, pain and suffering, and death. And we are wear it. Because we say Christ, no, not Christ, it said Jesus was on it. Resurrect thyself then. I'm just being frivolous, I'm telling you. The best of ourselves, we're denying. In obedience, we don't want to deal with that. We want freebies. We want freebies. Oh, Jesus, you died for me on the Calvary and everything else, and I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing, and I know that the day that, your Father sent for me and I suffer and die in this life, I will be resurrected in the next one. Yeah? Oh, that sounds quite good, but I mean, I should go into business. Fail, go back to the bank and say, listen, give me another chance. Doesn't happen. Them see your bank or behind the money, come out of here. Leave the premises. And if me not leave, me get arrested. Police is called. And this is democracy. It had nothing to do with no writs and rights and faith and ideologies to religious persuasion. This is just the way man set up his system. And we accept it. So God's system, we're supposed to accept that too. And we do to a point. Because we need to exist. Him give we water. Give we oxygen. Yeah, he sustains us. God Almighty sustains all of us. It's we who pollute the earth. It's we who commit crime. It's we who do everything that is not cordial for us. It's we make 1,001 mistake and then turn around and blame God for our errors by using the term, this is what religion have done. Because the Caucasians show you that he was barbaric and can't help. That's why Britain leave the group that them join Europe, them join the club of their fellow compatriots. Now they want opt out of the club. And all British history should show we black people that they were always fighting among themselves. There's no history of Africa like that, you know. You have tribal conflicts and everything, but these people have been fighting for years among themselves till them have a big fight, them call World War I. Then them supposed to settle down, then them have another big fight to write it, them call that World War II. Can't you see? And they've been trying ever since to have a World War III, which them call it Armageddon and and so forth. And we seem to participate with them in this nonsense when we should just leave them to their own devices and sort ourselves out. And it's easy enough. Just start trusting and come off the hype of trying to be an Englishman or English person through colonial teaching, through that teaching, theological education. And it's difficult. It will take some time. But once we trust one another, we're fine. We will reach there. So is Al-Islam for me? That's the goal, man. No one can change that. Won't change that. Not for nothing. And it's not a popularity contest either. You understand? I had no friend. And the friend, some of them desert me because I go to the mosque and I say, La ilaha illallah. Want me for smoke a spliff, me not smoke a spliff. Me never drink, so you never want me for drink. You want me for smoke a spliff. Why me for stay down in the yard, and by the time I leave there now, I can't go mass now because I smell full of ganja and all kind of thing. Why me for sit down and watch him try to collect 2 girls when him already have 1 girl at home or him yard. And I said, this is wrongs. Stop it. I was never like that anywhere. But me like women, but never like that. I can't have 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, some man up there say, yeah, no stamina, you jackass. You had so much stamina, you not take care of it, your responsibility. And then you try to blame Selassie and say that Jah said, go forth and multiply. Nothing of the kind. Nothing of the kind. It's just lustful appetite of a man trying to use his means of seducing women and his sexual urges to justify his so-called romance, which is not. There's nothing perfectional about that. Perfectional, not yeah. You understand? So we have to deal with things properly and accept our wrongdoings and try to develop some real trust. You understand? And don't be fraudulent. Because these are the days now, instead of being like Marcus Garvey, we have all the pharma technology where everything's working on a second, millisecond, and so forth and so forth. And we become scammers and very fraudulent people. So now is a problem. We teach our children to be the same. To be the same. And there's another set of people that take with children from us through curiosity, imagination, and inquisitiveness. And before you know it, it's not a he, it's a she, and it's not a she, it's a he. Hey, the people them don't even like how they've been created. Them changing everything. They don't like it. So if you all knew the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, early Elijah Muhammad, then you know so that this what is taking place now. Him and Fard was speaking of. That this is what the Europeans are like. Is what they're like. They never stop changing things. And then we see that Hitler and Britain was into the same, Germany and Britain was into the same thing. You understand? There's so much to come out about what they did in Namibia and these places. Huh? And the world courts ain't done a damn. But everybody's talking about Israel. And no one is speaking about how our family from Abyssinia has been mistreated and used. As Mum says, cockroach have no business in Foulpin. So, the conversation gone. Me swim here, me swim there, me guide there, me lost in the whole thing. But most importantly is the curiosity and the imagination and the inquisitiveness that is being used in education right now to transform young people and create a different generation of saying they're giving freedom of sexuality, freedom of masculinity, and so forth in society. Check these words, freedom, you know. Seriously. We want freedom, and they refuse to give us that. The people of Zimbabwe and South Africa want their freedom, and they refuse to give them that. They refuse. Africa as a whole, they refuse. Right now, Nigeria's been stubborn. You can see the deals that they've made in the 30s with England playing out again. See? So, we're coming up to Melik El Shabaab's time. I've gone ahead of them man there who want to try kidnap him for the scamming purposes. Yeah? But we're not allowing it to happen, you know. We just know so we are going to keep saying what we are saying. And we don't have to say nothing. We have to just keep playing him. Right? So when someone have something going on, we just turn up at their auditorium and shut that shit down. That's what we will do. Yeah. When I come there with the gangsters and mobsters and everything, we come with intellect and shut it down. Because when I scam, then you have this other people them from America try to show people say, oh, them a do this, them a do that. Hey, those kind of off-putting things we don't need here. We have problems of ourselves here to deal with. And if we are going to let other situations come here, and we're not even sorted out the youth crime, and we're not sorted out structures, and we're not sorted out solutions, and then we're going to encroach on intellectual scammers. And at this time, that means we're jackasses, seriously. And that's generalizing? No, man, that's in totality. Because so much people is on a hype. It's on a hype. You know? Last night, me listened to a sound clash that's played already. And me could have laughed because one man decided to be provocative. And there was no need. Because things were going nice. And how him get provocative, I can't see the crowd, so I don't know why him decide to try this thing. And call the next man something about him mother. And it wasn't the American slang that them the nasty thought them using. You know. It's another one, more explicit. And I expected to, hey, I thought there was going to be a ruckus going on, and then the MC turn around and say, watch out. The dance call off, you know, because them two men are fight or them draw gun on each other or something. And I said, boy, you got to say that to me about my mother? And me I still play with you? No, star. Me don't play. And now me I think about anger. Because anger done there already, you know. Me want to deal with something with you. Because I don't play, pack up my royalty things now and try orchestrate my mindset, my body to deal with you. Yes, my mother, and you speak like that. Star. In the first place, since you don't know the people them is like that, I wouldn't be going to this competition. But them start off the competition, the thing level. But this one man was playing some wicked tunes. The other man turned around and like, him not on there, man. Something happened. Something happened. And start cuss bad things, nasty things. And it's these American guys. You understand? So, Richie, when no say you go across there and get the man them a lick and the man them pick it up to hurt it, and instead of busting all the tune, them the man get vexed to us. Him get vexed and start cuss nasty talking about people's mother. Yeah. There's no way I could walk street and see him speak to him. Never. We have nothing to do with that person ever again. No matter how my life depends on him, no. I tell you, my mother, no star. I hear women them a laugh and thing, and I say, what it? But the rhythms them that one particular man a play, yeah, man I deal with rhythm. That's why we can't understand. Say that them US man them transform yard music, them transform sound system, and making some sound man them feel that it's necessary to change and follow that, because that means them get an opportunity to play in one of them so-called world-class hits. Gosh, man. You desert yourself and you desert your people. Serious thing. And some of you out there need to look at what happened with the hip-hop. What happened with the hip-hop. And look at the story of Salt and Pepper. What happened to the hip-hop. And see how these Askanakis got in there and seduced them youth there. The weaker ones, them, you know, into the money. And things change. Change. Rapid. Because the underground, just like reggae, you know, the underground hip-hop and them things, they still are going, you know. But the man them that come surface dwellers and go and cry, them sell out everything. You see? And them support this LG, that's something there as well. And them take our women and misuse them and abuse. America, our people in America, black man and woman have a big problem. Big problem. We don't need it here. And we can't help them solve it because we have our own to solve. Then push the woman them back. Degrade them and push them back, star. And we're degrading them in a dance. So, Richie, I'll play your tune now. After this, me gone, you know. Why me say that and play this, you know? We cut this. Richie Davis, Hutchie Payne, we cut this in the 80s. And it went across America. And we are one of them same sound man them in a film competition. Run it. Show you how big we are. Still. And we not done nothing. Yeah. You understand? It's all about choosing. And I'm telling you, as long as me still there, me still have a feeling. Yeah? I gotta pick out some more. Peng, yeah, you're Roddy Bone. I tell you, man. Principle, you're on the right track. Stay good, stay healthy. Don't get lustful for nothing. And you too, Peng. Richie Davis, you need to step up, man. Hey, Ranger. Stop it, man. Don't worry about them people, you know. You come through a lot of things, man. You understand? And we always used to say as Rasta, if Jah guide you, no man, no man can derail you. So have faith and hold on to what you got and wait. You understand? Have a little patience, man. Where you try push through, just be patient. Because you might step on the wrong person, can. You understand? Them people are set in their own ways, man. You're a young man among these wolves. You have to be careful, star. This is advice from Daddy Best. Mikey, little jammies, tell him now. His advice me again, star. Love it, man. Everything's good. Once you're healthy, your eyes are open, you know what you're doing, stay calm. Everything will fall into place, man. Have faith and wait. Pablo says so. Have faith and wait. You understand? Truth and rights and time will tell human Del. You understand? Have positive influences, positive people among you, and be courageous. You understand? Don't be jealous. Just be courageous, man. And keep calm. And come check we, man. Come check we. Yeah? And bust two jingles and World Jam, you understand? And make people know say where you arrive from. Come check we, man. And all is well. But I couldn't make Friday. Man. Up at the place there. Yeah? But give thanks. And World Jam. Matt did there, you know, hey, you know the boss is well enough. So what happened to you? Flex yourself, man. You understand? And him can promote you also. So settle and cool. Your guidance and protection to each and everyone. Salam alaikum. We're gone out.
Let's give praises. Oh, Lord, yes. You woke up this morning. It's the ultimate reason to give praises. Oh, yes. When you step out of bed, you're walking.
you have Friday, different program, God willing. The program they call Reasoning by the River, where I deal with the woman. Reggae music for the woman. Man showing his emotion, his feelings, his true spiritual feelings and desire, aspiration, affection, for the woman. I tell you. Principle, special design, man. Reasoning by the River. See? You see how we come with them titles there? Them titles there surpass all these nasty nonsense that people that chat about. And we never grew up with all of that. Going to 2 sound, 3 sound a play and everything. No. We never come with all of that. So stop complaining.
And sing songs of thanksgiving.
Guidance.
Cause there's so much to be thankful for. Stop complaining. And let your father know that you're grateful, yes. Oh, Lord. You've got so much to be thankful for. And so little to complain about. Oh, yes. But yet complaining dominates your mouth, while praise trickle from your thankful trials. Oh, Lord. So stop complaining and sing songs of thanksgiving. Cause there's so much to be thankful.
Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his courts with singing. Oh, oh, oh. Hey. Glory to Jah in the highest. His imperial highness. Glory to Jah in the highest. Great things he has done. Oh, well. Glory to Jah in the highest. His imperial highness. Glory to Jah in the highest. Great things he has done. I don't know about you, but this is my point of view. Jah has creation in his hand, a divine plan and a master hand, and set this world on its foundation. So, the glory to Jah in the highest, His imperial highness. Glory to Jah in the highest, great things he has done. Oh, oh. Glory to Jah in the highest, His imperial highness. Glory to Jah in the highest, great things he has done.
You see a man face, but you don't know his thought. From the action start, there comes the heart. Only a foolish dog bark at a flying bird. At the fluttering of lips, the fool will perish. Fool said in their heart, there is no God at all. Reason for them, the whole of them are go far. Weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. Wicked now have no place to run, straight to the judgment heap. I and I stepping on the glory street, riding on Zion train. May I fly on the wings of the winds, I will fly away. Weeping and wailing, gnashing of teeth.
So we are going because we have to, I just remember say that we have to play this. So last one, man, Mighty Buju, yeah. So we gone, Florida, man, Arrows, hold up yourself. And we're still there about, man, we want Kim Bobs and the man there for go do our work for we. And we want to do our work for you. And we say give thanks and respect to the family. Yard Massive, man, we can't forget on either. You understand? World Jam Global, Mr. Best there. Friday, different program. Reasoning by the river, you should like that, man. You understand something new going on in the world. We're not there on the yiggy and jiggy thing, man. We're there upon proper balance. Without the ladies, without the females, there's no balance in anybody's life. You understand? So we don't come for disrespect them. We respect them. We love them. Hey, my mama. Yeah, man. Bojo, gone. This one's supposed to pay all the rent, you know.
And listen, my people. This is the truth.
No.
Now go on like a fool.
Just see you stepping in. Give me.
Hey, you must know, say we are promoting, you know. So don't bother try to make the people and shut with on it again or anytime. See? Because you know, say, yard massive. Yeah, principle of support, you know. Because you see me just get my text for say, don't forget, play the tune.
And listen, my people. This is the truth. Now go on like a fool.
Just see you stepping in.
Regular.
Give me little reverb, some delay. Marcus I study thing to stay.
Rude boy.
Turn up the voice projector. Check ya. Well. Get to youth stay fit. We don't want them treat and we not get treat.
That's in the Uganda t-shirt. Yeah, we not play football, you know.
I try convince them authentic. Can't lead as a blind man with walking stick. Inquire how hard is it. Inna the ghetto. Then you know say you're garbage this. Trust me, you know sick and I no coughing sick.
Then tell me now, how long we have to pardon them? Listen me no parliament, the youths no respect the false pretense. You no give a damn about
Friday for you.
How long we have to pardon them? We have to harden them. The youths no respect the false pretense. You no give a damn about we.
I say, don't you know why the youth say my feel so terrible? And in a jailhouse, them I feel it too. Guns and bombs, you put them in a gun. Divide and roll was the ultimate plan. Every youth in a the ghetto grew up big water can. Can't tell him nothing, cause I really have one. I know say mama no try, I know say papa no plan. Good education, seven subject can't use one. Tell the boss man, the people want food in yam. Call the boss man when I go wait too long. To the color of we skin, you know say him a African. Got them out junkie, them in a stone motion.
How long we have to pardon them? Listen me no parliament, the youths no respect the false pretense. You no give a damn about we. How long we have to pardon them? We have to harden them. The youths no respect the false pretense. You no give a damn about we.
Yo, I will forget Front Page Production. Hey. Yeah.
Liberate the beat.
Bushman. Yeah, man. From Friday, we have a day with you. Listen.
There is no morals in society.
We are one of the first a bus this, you know. Yeah, man. Front. Yeah.
Liberate the beat.
Front Page. Yo. Bushman, man. This single will come out on an album. This is going to come out on an album.
In society.
See? Watch it.
No equal rights or justice in the Coventry. Too much rapscallions in sectoral entity.
Listen, man.
Subliminally the people suffer every day. Liberate the people. Rescue the poor.
Hey, you see when Roddy Boone, when Principal received this tune, yeah, Principal said it seemed like the man got my writing. See it there? You hear the lyrics? You hear the lyrics? Because there's something spiritual taking place on the planet called Earth among people that their minds are functioning. Not just we. It's all over people. There are a nice station about them. We can't call them name, but them, hey, them red on point. Love that.
Liberate the people.
Love that. And I tell you, on point. Morals, man. No morals. Watch it.
There is no more
Bushman.
in society. No equal rights or justice in the Coventry. Too much rapscallions in sectoral entity.
Go on, Bush.
Subliminally the people suffer every day.
Selection
Liberate
principle.
the people, rescue the poor, help the disabled, give them some more.
Yes,
Lord.
man.
Liberate the people, rescue the poor, help the disabled.
What I can do with him? Can't do nothing with him, man. Him good.
In the
Inspector.
silence of the night when evil is crawling, on the most high Rastafari name I'm calling.
Bushman.
And the evil of the morning will be falling. Life ain't no ordinary flow. Life ain't no ordinary flow. Yeah, as my weakness and I predict this, the Eden could not never get me down. No way, no, no, no. I see as yeah, as my weakness and I predict this, the Eden could not never get me down. No day, no, no. Liberate the people, rescue the poor.
Yeah, I mean, I say 2 weeks behind, you know.
Give them
Yes.
some more.
Accept the apologies for that, man.
Liberate the people.
If I play today, they can run out on Friday, no problem.
Help the disabled.
Yeah, man.
Give them some more, Lord.
Instructions we deal with.
Yeah. Divert the people in the right direction. Yeah. Elevate the people
Go
so
on, Bushman.
they could have cessation. Too much infliction of confliction cause deception.
What a
See,
piece
the
of writing.
people needs the rights to break free. Liberate the people, rescue the poor, help the disabled.
Front Page
Give them
Productions.
some more,
Yeah.
Lord. Liberate the
No morals.
people, rescue the poor,
Bushman.
help the disabled. Give them some more, Lord. I tell you, send me fed up, fed up, fed up. Tired of them system. Fed up, fed up, fed up. Tired of them system now. Fed up, fed up, fed up. Liberate the people, rescue the poor, help the disabled. Give them some more, Lord. Liberate the people.
All me had to do earlier, I just play this and don't bother say nothing. Just say, listen to this, and you got the message. We need to structuralize ourselves, have some institutions, trust each other, gone. And play my documentary and pull out. You understand? One of these days, I'm going to get just like that because the music says everything. You understand? The people we deal with says everything. And the selector, him bright, man, wise, royal, and put on them good clothes and, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, World Jam Global, man. You get all of these things there. You got issues today on Saturday, and it's church from church on Sunday, and you have general on Thursday, and Rhythm Up come Friday. So we're there, man. We're there. World Jam Global. Assalamu alaikum. Your guidance and protection to each and everyone. Gone. Mr. Best out. Friday, God willing. Yeah.